Ain't no table for secrets, I run a kitchen for a living and a marriage for love. The kitchen listens better. My name is Daniel. We own a small restaurant called Harbor and Ash, a 36-seat bistro with a bar that believes in oysters and an oven that still thinks it's a church. My wife, Mara, runs the front of house. She can seat a four-top with a smile and a pen, and somehow also convince the oysters to behave. On good nights I stand at the pass and call plates in a voice that makes the lines straighten their spines. On bad nights I'm a plumber, a therapist, and a man with tongs muttering to a stubborn steak like it owes me rent. The sound of tickets printing is our second language. The first is yes. This story starts on a Wednesday that wanted to be Friday. The pre-theater crowd arrived early. I had scallops, duck, and a mushroom risotto that forgave people for ordering it. We were short a dishwasher and long on opinions. At 5:41, Mara leaned into the kitchen doorway the way she does when she wants me to hear her without losing a hand. "Critic rumor," she said. "Table 12, Nate Rivers likes to be invisible and then make a mess of adjectives." "Fire 2 scallops, 1 duck," I said to the room and to my heartbeat. "Tell Rivers we don't do invisible, we do dinner." She grinned and disappeared, the air folding itself neatly where she'd been. I like watching her move through a room that thinks it owns her and then doesn't. She's not a performer, she's a compass. Nate Rivers was a face I knew from column inches, gentle beard, glasses like he wanted you to trust him. He came with a producer from a streaming show that makes famous people cook badly on purpose. They ordered like adults who promised not to make it about them. So far, so blessed. At 7:12, the printer coughed a ticket that said, "Comp 2 oysters, Rivers, merci." Mara doesn't write merci unless she wants me to laugh. I put 6 on the plate because I don't start fights I can win with lemon and cold brine. Service moved. The room did its warm animal thing, and the line behaved. Somewhere between duck rests and dessert, I saw him, Nate, standing with Mara by the host's stand, pointing at the wine fridge like he intended to be interesting. He's one of those men hospitality invents, friendly in a way that can become ownership if you don't label it. He touched the glass with 2 fingers as if it might be listening. Mara tucked her hair behind one ear with the hand she uses to count checks. The gesture didn't belong to anyone else. I plated, I watched, I failed to invent a problem. That felt like maturity, it might have been luck. We close at 10 on Wednesdays. At 10:18, our shared card pinged my phone, 2 bar charges at the place across the street, 2204 and 2249. We share the account because payroll is a team sport and trust is a budget. I wiped the pass, told the line good work, and ignored the phone until ignoring it felt like theater. Mara came in at 10:40 with her coat unbuttoned and the specific relief of someone who survived gratuity math. "We did good," she said, kissing my cheek with a mouth that had tasted 100 goodbyes and 1 gin. Rivers allegedly loved the duck and the way the bread pretended it came from a monastery. 2 bar charges. I asked, folding a clean towel the way you fold a question. 2 tabs, she said. The bartender closed mine when he switched, then opened another so Rivers could buy a round for the staff. I had soda. He had opinions. I nodded. Soda is a vow we keep when gossip gets thirsty. We loaded pans into the lowboy and left the place in that sacred state kitchen's ready for a fight, too tired to pick one. Thursday, the rumor turned into a fact. Rivers posted a photo of our scallops with a caption that used the word precise like it missed punctuation. The reservation book filled itself like a good lie. I should have been grateful and in fact was. I should also be honest about what gratitude does to a person who runs a room for strangers. You become greedy for good news. Friday, we had a private event after service, a late pop-up with a visiting winemaker, and a famous fish guy named Luca who could fillet a bass with a spoon and a thesis. The fish guy traveled with a publicist who smiled like she sold insurance to gods. He also traveled with a woman who took notes in a small black book and used her laughter like a scalpel. Luca wants to be at the pass tonight, Mara said at lineup. His people want photos that say intimate but not fire code violation. He can stand where the steam won't kiss his camera, I said, and no one touches the plates but me. We did the thing. The food was not shy. People made noises that soundless rooms call prayers. Luca liked to narrate, look at that sear, look at that wrist, and I let him until it sounded like he might need to own the event in a language we don't sell. Mara positioned him with a hostess's precision, close enough to be photographed, far enough to respect heat. She moved like a solution. At 11:06, Luca posed with his arm across Mara's shoulders for the publicist who says words like activation. The picture was fine. The moment after, that little domestic second when a man's hand fails to remember the exit cue, that was a half-inch too long. Mara smiled in a way that says, I know how to return things people didn't borrow. I plated. I watched. I did not get in the way of a woman who keeps a room honest. We broke down at midnight. The across-the-street bar caught what it always catches. The overflow of people who need to believe night is a character they can cast. Our phone pinged, one bar charge, then another 39 minutes later. We walked home past windows rehearsing their reflections. Saturday, around 2 in the afternoon, Rivers posted a teaser. Chef Daniel understands restraint. Harbor and Ash, a love letter to patience. I laughed into the walk-in because compliments make me ridiculous. We went into service on that wind. The oven sang, the night complied. Then came Monday, the day off that never is. I was doing inventory when an alert came through on our system that someone had requested our reservation book export. Nate Rivers' assistant asking for dates and covers. Standard enough. The email CC'd the producer with the streaming show. The subject line added a sentence I want to forgive. Possible night service episode. Kitchen intimacy. Kitchen intimacy. I put the clipboard down the way you put down a knife you don't trust your hand with. I forwarded the email to Mara and said nothing in the body because sometimes silence is the only way to preserve tone. She called. I saw, she said. Intimacy is doing too much work in that sentence. It's not a word I like being rented out, I said, especially not with our names attached. He wants to film you and me, she asked. He wants to film a fantasy people have about rooms we keep open for them, I said. And he wants to be the mirror. We sat with that. Kitchens are good at proofing dough and doubt. That night at home, with a pan we used for nothing, we wrote what we write when a thing wants to be bigger than our house. Rules. On the back of a Harbor and Ash gift card, I wrote in a Sharpie with a tip like a philosophy. 1. No afters without names. If someone invites us somewhere, a person invites us, not a brand. 2. Touch belongs to the board, hands on knives and plates, not people. 3. If a camera keeps rolling, assume truth does too. Mara added, 4. If a word makes us different people, intimacy, genius, destiny, we don't use it in the building. We tape the card to the inside of the flour bin because flour is the substance that forgives lies if you need them long enough. Tuesday, Rivers called as if emails were appetizers. I put him on speaker at the bar before service because public conversations deserve public spaces. He pitched the episode. We said we liked our kitchen without extra eyes. He said, it's about trust. Mara said, then trust us to say no. He paused. You can hear a man's heart adjust to a new beat if he's been praised professionally for listening. He said he respected the boundary. I believed him, not because he said it, but because he didn't try to decorate it.